Coaches, 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 coaches. Happy Tuesday to all of you. Unless you're watching in the future, then happy Wednesday. Or if you're watching far in the future, happy 2074. I hope the alien invasion was painless and you weren't probed anally nearly as much as I was. Really quickly, just going to make sure this is working on my phone and that it is coming up so I can also see your comments. Fantastic. If you are here live, send me some love. If you are here on the replay, let me know that you were tuning in as well. And today we're going to talk about something fun. You guys really seem to like the format that I did last week of coming on and talking about a particular topic, but also sharing a clip of a live coaching session where I started to dive into that topic and then me doing a little more kind of teaching around that topic afterwards. And so I'm back today to do that again, and we'll see if you like it twice in a row. Maybe you were like, the first time it was great, second time, JG, this sucks, stop doing it. If you're here live, let me know that you're here. I see a few of you just popped in here. Would love to know who is here joining me. And as you can see in the title, today the behind the scenes coaching session is the one question to ask yourself twice to create the perfect offer in your coaching business. The one question to ask yourself twice to create the perfect offer in your coaching business. Now, what this came from was again, one of our CPBI calls. Again, there's one of our live calls tomorrow. So if you're a part of the self-study VIP program, you have access to that. I hope to see you tomorrow morning on our live call. If you're not a part of that, you still can join today and have access to join us tomorrow. But either way, this was another clip from one of our group calls. And this person in particular that I'm coaching, again, their face will be removed for confidentiality. We don't have the Brady Bunch there today, so I apologize. We're really going downhill. But this particular person was somebody who actually felt really lazy because they weren't taking a lot of action in their coaching business. Now, I'm sure we have all felt this way at one point or another. If you have ever felt lazy at all through the course of your coaching business, you know you need to do something, you need to create something, but you feel just like, you feel lazy. You just feel like you're not getting anything done. Give me a one in the comments. I'd love to know if you feel that way. I definitely have felt that way before. And this person in particular was feeling lazy, and I'd love to know if you've ever felt this way in particular, a very specific form of laziness that came from this client. They had a sense of laziness because they had all these ideas of things they could create. They were thinking about doing a 2-day workshop and doing a group coaching program and doing a course and doing all these different things. And because they had all these different things that were pulling their attention and they couldn't seem to figure out which was the one they should focus on, she wasn't taking action at all, which of course was making her feel lazy, making her feel like she was procrastinating, feeling resistance, doing all these things that are not helpful to our coaching business. So if you have ever felt that way before, I'd love for you to give me a 2 in the comments. Have you had a bunch of ideas before of things to do and you couldn't figure out which is the perfect one for me to focus on right now? You just had so many ideas and so many things that you actually ended up being in a place of inaction because you weren't clear on which one was going to be best for your business right now. So give me a 2 if that's the case for you. Yolanda's here, finally catching me live. I hope I see you tomorrow in the live call, Yolanda. So excited that you joined us, one of our newest members of the Self-Study VIP program. So excited to see you tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, give us a 1. I love it. Yeah, Yolanda says, I'm moving mountains to be there tomorrow. It'll be worth it, I promise you. Sinya's here. Sinya, my dear, so good to see you. Let's see, Tamara, Yolanda both say 2. Yeah, my life, Yolanda says, I get it. We're going to clear this up right now for you. It's going to be super simple and super powerful. Tamara says, all day, every day, I'm an idea factory, all about the same topic. That's great. That's exactly what this person that I'm going to share with you had as well. Sinya says 2 right now. Amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this clip and I will tell you right now what the question is. This question, I said, ask yourself this one question twice to come up with the perfect offer. I'm going to tell you what the question is right now. Then I'm going to have you watch the video. We're going to watch it together. And then I'll come back on and really debrief what I meant and to make sure you really get how you can use this in your own world. Okay? You ready to rock? Let's do it. Okay. So the question that you want to ask yourself twice is a very simple question. What problem are we trying to solve? Okay, what problem are we trying to solve? Now, the reason I say you're going to ask it twice is because you're going to ask it once in the context of what problem am I trying to solve in my own business by creating this thing? And the second one is what problem am I trying to solve for the people that I serve? Okay, so here's the distinction there. What problem am I trying to solve in my own business? And what problem am I, by creating this thing, whether it's a 2-day thing or a course or a group program or a VIP, a special one-on-one thing, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. What problem am I trying to solve in my business by creating that? And what problem am I trying to solve for the client by creating that? The intersection of those two things is where your answer of what you need to create comes from. Let's watch this video, and then we'll come back and talk about it more on the back end.
Anything.
So if we just look at those in a vacuum, right, that the offer's unclear, they're not sure of the actual problem, they have money mindset issues, and they don't see the urgency. Those are the problems we're trying to solve. So putting together a 2-day workshop or putting together a group coaching program, none of that matters unless there's something about that solves these problems. So the question to ask is, what can I create that will solve these problems?
Okay.
This may be a mix of making sure you're focusing on this stuff in your free content and then creating an offer that also directly relates to this stuff.
Yeah.
So you feel like, women have a big money mindset issue, and that's one of the things that holds them back in various areas of their lives. Then that could be the entry point of a 2-day workshop, is all about money mindset.
Yeah.
So they can be more empowered, but you have to start creating free content that also points to the money stories and conditioning that we've been brought up with as women that may be affecting why we're not moving forward and taking more risks or investing in ourselves or doing the things we want to do. So to me, that shows us what to create, because it actually solves the problem we're having, as opposed to like, should I do a group thing? Should I do a 2-day thing? It would be easy to create this. It would be good content, but that's all true. And does it actually solve the problem? And that's always a question we want to ask, because this happens to me too. I'm like, oh man, I could do this. This would be fun. That would be fun. And that's great. Like I want to follow what feels fun. I just want to make sure it's also solving the problem that we have, because otherwise I create it and then I'm upset that nobody really gave a shit. But I didn't start with the customer first. I want to start with the customer first. Okay, so that was a very, very short clip. And this is even more reason why I wanted to come and talk about this, because there's a lot that's left out. If you are in the VIP program, you will have access to that full coaching session. That was like a 2-minute clip of a full coaching session. But I think we coached around that for 20 or 25 minutes. So we went really deep into exactly what it is this person's creating. But I want to share with you what happened in that clip. There were a few different things. I gave her a little bit of strategy and content stuff and things like that. But the main thing I want to talk about is the question of, what problem are we trying to solve in the context of my business and in the context of my customer? Now, what you'll notice was one of the first things I was talking about was, money mindset issues. And I named a few different things. Where that came from was her telling me what the biggest issues that were plaguing her clients was, right? That those are the things that they're really suffering with. Money mindset and all these different things that were there. So she was trying to figure out, what is it that is going to be relevant to them and that she wants to create in her business? Is it going to be the 2-day thing? Is it going to be a course? Is it going to be a group program? Is it going to be whatever? So the first step was to figure out, what problem are we trying to solve for our clients? Now, this is a beautiful thing. This intersection of what's the problem I'm trying to solve for my business and what's the problem I'm trying to solve for my clients. When you can find the overlap of those two things, which I'm going to tell you in a second what that was for this particular person, so you can try to see where it might be for yourself as well. If you can find an overlap between those two things, it makes it ridiculously easy to figure out what to create from a paid perspective, like programs, courses, VIPs, whatever, but also what to create from a content perspective, like even free content. So let me give you specifics here. The problem that this particular person was having in their business, right, that we were trying to solve, and this was not a part of this little clip, but it's a part of the full clip if you watch the full clip. The problem this person was having in their business is that they were getting on calls with people because they were following our directions in the program. They were booking more enrollment calls and discovery calls with people. And what they noticed was that these people would have an amazing session with her. And then when it would come to the time to sign up and there would be the proposal process, she wasn't getting nearly as many yeses as she could be. Right. And she's, again, clear on her message. She's great at what she does, all that stuff. She's done great with her content based on what we've taught her. She's built a Facebook group with her content and has people that are really, really in love with her work. And yet still there was this disconnect when she would get on the phone with these people that they wouldn't sign up for coaching. Somewhat, of course, but she wasn't closing at the rate that she would like to be closing. And so we dove a little deeper into that. And here's what we realized. The biggest complaint or biggest objection, I should say, she was getting was around money stuff, right? Now you may say, oh, that's what it is for everybody. Fine, but everybody has their different reasons for money stuff. Because this particular person that I was coaching on this clip works specifically with women, she could see from what they were saying and from her own story. I mean, so much of this just comes from your own story and your own healing as well. She could tell that the biggest thing holding them back was money mindset issues. Okay, it was money mindset issues. So this is something we uncovered on the phone. This is not something she came into as a part of her question. It was something that I dove into because I wanted to give her the right direction on what to pick. And this was something that I know is important for me and for everybody I've worked with to know this about what problem you're trying to solve in your business. So the problem we're trying to solve in her business is that not enough people are saying yes to her offer. That's the problem we're trying to solve in her business. So immediately we say, okay, if that's the problem we're trying to solve, let's make sure whatever we're creating is actually solving that problem. So we say, oh, should I do a 2-day thing? Should I do a group thing? Should I do a course? Should I do whatever? My question is, what is it that you actually want in your business right now? And for her, it was very clear, one-on-one coaching clients. That was her main thing. I said, great, then let's solve the problem of you getting one-on-one coaching clients without the heavy lifting of doing a full course or a full group program if what you really want in the short term is one-on-one clients. And she said, great, so how do we do that? So we then go back and ask that question, what problem are we trying to solve? The problem we're trying to solve is that not enough people are signing up and saying yes once they've had conversations with this coach. Great. What's the biggest thing holding them back? Money. Tell me more specifically. The money mindset issues that I know as a woman, this is me pretending I'm her. I am not a woman. It's not hormone stuff, whatever. I know as a woman, these are money stories that we have as women. Awesome. So then we ask the question, then we find the overlap. So it feels like one of the biggest issues to solve for your clients is money mindset issues. Now remember, this coach I'm talking about is not a money mindset coach. It's a part of what she does with people, but she takes them through a whole process, and I won't give away all her process and what she does, but she has a whole process to empower women and does amazing work with women. And she sees in these conversations that is a big thing holding them back from moving forward. So we say, awesome, look at the overlap. If you were able to create something that specifically helps them with their money mindset, and their money mindset is specifically the thing that holds them back from signing up with you, we have now found one solution that is the answer to the problem in your business, not enough people saying yes during enrollment conversations, and solves the problem of what they're experiencing, or one of the elements that they're experiencing, which is their own money mindset issues. So now it becomes very simple. We say, well, listen, if all I'm trying to do is to help them get a little forward movement and a little forward clarity on their money mindset so that when I talk to them, they have a different money mindset. Or it could even be that when you talk to them, if they have a money mindset issue, you say, here's the thing I created that I think will help you with your money mindset. I would love for you to watch that and then schedule another call for us to talk again. Now we are solving the actual problem in our business, which is why I said this is a question you want to ask yourself twice. What problem am I trying to solve in my business? What problem am I trying to solve with my clients? So for her, if she just wants them to have some forward movement on their money mindset stories so that they are more open to the prospect of what coaching may look like, then she doesn't have to create a big group coaching program. She doesn't have to create a full course. She could create an hour-long mini training, a half an hour-long mini training. She could do a half a day free workshop or even a half a day paid workshop that's low price. But remembering the goal that all I'm trying to do here is to get them some forward movement on their money mindset issues. Is this making sense? Give me a 3 in the comments if this resonates with you and you get what I'm doing here. You get how simple this can be just to say, what's the thing that's going on in my business that I would like to fix? And what's the thing that's going on for my clients that I'd like to fix? And what's the overlap? So while I'm letting you guys kind of process that and think about how this resonates or if it resonates with you, I'll give you another example. For me, when I think about having people come and join us in the CPBI, in the Self-Study VIP program, what I notice a lot of times is that people feel like social media, because I talk about using social media, that social media is something they're going to have to become an expert in, that it's something that they're going to have to be married to social media. They're going to have to become content creation experts. They're going to have to do Facebook Live 5 days a week and be on Instant Messenger 7 hours a day and do all this crazy stuff. I know that that's a thing for them, right? And I also know that that's the biggest problem I have with people joining the program. Of course, people have all their other objections about, is it going to work for me? And can I afford it? And all these other things that we're not talking about right now. And that's all part of the things that you create in your content to hopefully deal with some of those objections beforehand. And some of that just has to happen when you're on calls, if you're doing enrollment conversations. So what I did was I made sure to create a resource, which is my How to Build a Competition-Proof Coaching Business Guide, which most of you here have probably seen or read or downloaded at some point. And so I wanted to make it very clear in there that when I talk about using social media, I'm not talking about spamming people. I'm not talking about being promotional. I'm not talking about pitching your services at all, honestly at all. That I am instead talking about how do we use the tool of social media to create depth and engagement with the people in our world. How do we use social media as just another way to serve, just like having coaching calls is another way to serve? And so I made sure that that free resource, not even a paid resource, that free resource is very clear that, hey, social media is not something you have to become a guru at. It's just about taking the skills you already have of listening, of presence, of teaching, of helping, of serving, of sharing, and bringing it more out into the world so more people get a sense of what it is you do and how you can help people. And I've had so many people that have read that guide and said, wow, the way you talk about social media is how I've never heard it talked about before. And I actually feel open to some social media stuff now because of the way it was presented. MSG is here. 3, and I need your help. Come to Raleigh. Oh, my dear. I would love to come back to Raleigh one of these days. Let's see. Tamara says 3, Yolanda 3, Sinya 3. Amazing. Love that. So I'm so happy that it's resonating. So that's the question I want you to ask yourself. Look at the biggest challenge that is stopping you from having more clients. Right? Whatever that thing is, whatever the biggest objections are from your clients now or from your prospects now, right? Either they say, oh, I don't have the time. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't have the time. And you go, okay, interesting. The biggest objection they have is they don't have the time. And that's what's impacting my business. And them believing they don't have time and feeling overwhelmed is a big problem for them. Now, that may not be what I coach on. I may not be a time management expert. Let's say I'm a parenting coach, right? And as a parenting coach, I talk to somebody and they go, yeah, I'd love to do this. Price feels okay, but I'm so busy with the kids and with work and everything else. There's just no way I can do this. So I say, okay, the biggest barrier to those parents signing up with me is they feel like they don't have enough time. And one of the biggest problems in their life, as they're telling me now, is they don't have enough time. Even though that doesn't directly affect parenting, it of course directly affects parenting. Like that's not a part of being a better parent, probably doesn't include time management, although it might. I'm not a parenting coach. But look at the clarity in that. So if I were to step back and say, okay, time management is their issue, I probably don't want to create a 6-week course on time management because they already don't have time. I probably don't want to create a 2-hour training on time management because they don't have time. I probably don't want to create a half day or a full day workshop because they don't have time. So maybe I create a 10-minute or a 15-minute mini training that gives them the top 5 things to recapture 2 hours in their day immediately, right? And now what I'm doing is, again, I'm being of service and they're getting some real value that they need, but also it takes away this feeling of I don't have enough time to dedicate to the thing that I want to do, which is to become a better parent or a more present parent or whatever it is. So if you are able to solve the initial problem that is causing people to not want to sign up with you, they will have a higher likelihood of signing up with you. Okay. That is my message for you today on the behind the scenes. I would love to know what your biggest takeaway is here. What are you going to do with this information so that it's not just information and it's actually application and transformation? If you guys listen to me all day, nothing in your life will change. If you listen to me and then you go practice, maybe still nothing will change. No, I'm kidding. Lots will change, but it requires you to take some action. So I'd love to know what is your biggest insight here in the chat, in the comments. If you're on the replay, same to you. Please leave that here. And let me know if you're going to try this out. I would love for you to and actually share it here if you can. What is the biggest problem in your own business? What's the thing that's stopping people from signing up with you? And it may be the same thing, which would be great, or you could find an overlap. And what could you create that would solve that problem for you and for them? So I'll say that again. What is the biggest reason people do not sign up with you? And what is something that you could create that would make sense? Again, not a full day training if they're dealing with time management issues. What is the thing that you could create that would help them to overcome that barrier so that there is a higher likelihood they would work with you? Tell me that in the comments or DM me if you feel like it's a little vulnerable to share it publicly. I would love to hear it. Sending you all so much love. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you real soon. Peace.